Hey guys, I'm back, and in this video, I will be going over the Meta For White Hives. This guide is made by the BEESMAS Guide Help Discord server, and since this guide will be the most complicated out of all my other Hive guides, I can't go into every single detail about being white. However, I will be going over the hive composition, the Beequips you will need, the mutations you need on your bees, and every stat you need on your amulets. If you want to go check out the full guide, which also goes into details such as things about macros and boosting related stuff, then check the pinned comment below or link in the description to join the BEESMAS Guide help server. Now, let's start with the hive composition. The standard white hive has the following: 7 precise bees, 19 vector bees, 5 baby bees, 1 carpenter bee, 1 lion bee, 1 music bee, 1 honey bee, 1 demo bee, 1 shocked bee, 1 commander bee, 1 brave bee, 1 hasty bee, 1 stubborn bee, 1 looker bee, 1 basic bee, 1 digital bee, 1 gummy bee, 1 photon bee, 1 puppy bee, 1 windy bee, 1 bear bee, and the tabby bee. It goes without saying, but every single bee in your hive should be gifted. However, this is just a base hive, and there were a few possible different bees you can add/remove depending on your playstyle. The first alternative is, instead of using baby bees, you can use tadpole bees. This is because tadpole bees also produce the baby love token, which is the main reason why you're using your baby bees. The reason why you're also using this is so your tadpole bees can carry the poinsettia beequip. Since the poinsettia beequip has a chance to have gather pollen as a hive bonus, which can enhance your digital bee. It is also useful for the rubber barrel challenge, since instead of having a hive of mostly colorless bees, you will have 5 extra blue bees. Overall, it's up to you, since either work, but tadpole bees have the potential to be more useful, but are generally more expensive to get. Another alternative is running 8 precise bees instead of 7. This is to maintain your super critical chance and your precise marks better. If you've just turned white and don't understand boosting fully, it may just be best to run 8 until you are more used to white and can switch back to 7 precise bees. Now let's go over the mutations. Excluding mythic bees, generally speaking, these mutations should be acquired by using royal jelly, as opposed to bitterberries and neon berries. It is more efficient to save those bitterberries and neon berries for your mythic bees. For your vector bees, you should be using bee move speed. This is because the faster the bee is, the better the triangulate ability is, since the bee can move faster, making the range of the ability even bigger. It's also okay to keep vector bees that have critical chance or bee ability rate. Next is your precise bees. Ideally, you're going to want bee ability rate, however, this is a very hard mutation to get, so bee move speed is also really helpful. Bee ability rate allows you to get more precise marks, and bee move speed makes the bee faster when it's going up into the air when it uses its ability token practice. Instant conversion and critical chance are also fine. Since bee move speed, bee ability rate, critical chance, and instant conversion are the 4 rarest stats to get for mutations, it's also acceptable to be using attack. Digital bee only has 1 acceptable mutation being gather amount. This is because it buffs the smiley token that is produced, which can collect trillions of honey in just 1 ability. In other words, this is the best ability in the game, and bee gather pollen makes it even better. Every other bee in your hive should just have bee ability rate, since more abilities is, well, generally very useful. Except for basic bee, since it doesn't have any abilities, you can just use bee move speed or whichever. If I put the outline of the Beequip's name in white, then it is a must-have, and if the outline is in gold, then it is an expensive Beequip, but it is super good and worth investing to get. If the outline is just black, like all the other text you see, then it's just a possible or alternative Beequip that the player can use if they choose to. The first one is Toy Drums, which not only provides the players with an extra haste ability, but it can also have the high bonus bee ability pollen. What this does is it makes your bees collect more pollen, which is very good. The bee ability pollen stack can go upwards of plus 10% per drum. However, that is very rare, and you will on average get 3 to 5 bee ability pollen. This is a very important beequip that can become expensive depending on the bee ability pollen hive bonus amount. You should use 2 of them on your demo and brave bee. Next is the whistle. The whistle is needed in white, since not only can it be a haste source, but it can also have a few useful hive bonuses on it. The most notable one is the super critical power, which can go as high as plus 10%. It is also possible to get the ability token Melody on this beequip, however that is really hard to get. You should be using this beequip on your commander bee. Next is the Snow Tiara. the Snow Tiara is only ever used if it has a very high honey from tokens hive bonus. However, it isn't exactly recommended to use unless you don't have any other good alternatives and you just have an extra space. Next is the Paper Angel. It's generally recommended to run only one, but it is possible to run two. This is usually used because of its token link ability, but it's also used because it can also have the ability Pollen on it. This can go up to plus 5%, so it's pretty good. Anything above plus 3% is really rare and can be really expensive though. Next is the Pink Shades. The Pink Shades are usually used for high bonuses being super critical chance and super critical power. It is possible to have both of these on one Beequip, but that's really rare and expensive. If you are able to get one, then put this on your basic bee. Next is the Kazoo. The Kazoo is used since it gives melody and can give critical power and super critical power high bonuses. Use this on your shocked bee. Next is the Charm Bracelet. The only real reason why this is used is if you can get melody on this Beequip. Although it's really rare and expensive, if you manage to get your hands on this, you can use it. Put this on your carpenter or baby bees. Next is the Sweatband. This Beequip is an absolute necessity for your digital bee. As I've explained before, it gives White Gather Amount, which increases the power of the Smiley token, which is the best ability in the game. So using a Sweatband that has White Gather Amount is very important. It's also possible to have additional White Pollen, but it only goes up to plus 2%. Next is the Peppermint Antennas, which can give bee ability high bonus of plus 1% and a bee ability rate buff to the bee wearing the Beequip. Overall, you shouldn't use this Beequip unless you have no other Beequips or just have extra slots. You should use this on your Windy Bee to increase the white boost production if you choose to use one. Next is the Smiley Sticker, which can be used for Mark Duration High bonus, which goes up to plus 2%, and the Mark Duration buff it gives to the bee wearing it. It is also possible to get Honey Mark ability token on it, which is really nice, but that is also really expensive and rare. If you manage to get this, then you should use this on your Precise Bee to increase the duration of its precise marks. Next is the Paperclip, which is only really good if you have bee ability pollen and ability token lifespan high bonus on it. If you manage to get good Paperclips, then use this on your Hasty and Stubborn Bee. Next is the BEESMAS Top, which can only be ran if it has a really high critical power high bonus. In order for this to be viable, it needs to have plus 7% or higher. If you manage to get one, then it can be placed on any of your rare bees. Next is the Toy Horn, which is a must-have since it gives melody and can also give the bee ability pollen high bonus, which is also to plus 5%. Use this Beequip on your Lion Bee. Next is the Poinsettia, which can be ran only if it has a very high bee gather pollen high bonus. As I've said before, this enhances Digital Bee's Smiley token, and since I've mentioned it so many times, I think you're starting to understand that Digital Bee is very important in White Hives. You can use a Poinsettia on any of your tadpole bees if you have them. Lastly is the Candy Ring, which can be used if it has a high honey per goo buff. It's also possible to get honey from tokens as a hive bonus, but it's only 1.01 times, so it's not super good. If you manage to get a high honey per goo stat, then use this on your gummy bee. Anyway, onto the final section of this video being amulets. Let's first start with the Star Amulet. On a Star Amulet, you need white pollen, critical chance, bee ability rate, and bee gather pollen. You need to have at least 4 out of 5 of these stats in order for it to be a good SSA. The double passive should be Gummy Star and Star Saw. Onto the Ant Amulet. On an Ant Amulet, you need critical chance, critical power, white pollen, and pollen. And it doesn't matter what the other pollen stat is, whether it's red or blue, it doesn't really matter. Onto the next amulet being your Stake Bug Amulet. On your Stake Bug Amulet, you need white pollen, honey from tokens, and plus 2 red bee attack or just plus 1 bee attack. On your Cog Amulet, you need the following: white pollen, honey from tokens, markability pollen, and white instant conversion. Next is the King Beetle Amulet, which needs the following. Honestly, all you need is plus 1 bee attack since the other stats don't really matter that much. Your Moon Amulet needs the following: plus 50% white pollen and either bee gather pollen or normal pollen. Lastly, you need these stats on your Shell Amulet: up to plus 10% goo conversion, either honey from tokens or white pollen, and lastly, spider fuel pollen. As you may be able to tell by the duration of this video, the White Hive is without a doubt the most complicated hive, and that's why I've been so hesitant to make a video on it. Again, if you want to see the full guide, which talks more about things such as macro and how to boost, then check in the link in the description and the pinned comment to join the BEESMAS Guide Help Discord server. This is an endgame guide, and using this when you aren't ready to be white may do more harm than good. Well, I hope you enjoyed or found this useful. I'm giving away a plus 24% white gather mount sweatband in my Discord server if you want to check that out, which is also in the link in the description and pinned comment. That's all for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.